First being the seat. So on the seat, I want you guys to simply sit forward on the seat. I don't want you towards the back of the seat. I want you to sit as far forward as comfortable. You shouldn't feel like you're falling off of it, but I want you, come on up here guys, come on up here. Yeah, up here. Yeah, up here, please. Good. Okay, next, we have what are called our foot stretchers. These are our foot stretchers. Now, when you strap in, you're going to adjust them such that the strap is running across the widest part of your foot or your lowest shoelace. That's your adjustment point, okay? We don't want the feet too high, we don't want the feet too low. Just right is strap running across the widest part of the foot. Now, when we strap in, you are also going to tighten your straps. But I don't like my straps tight because then when I have to transition, I get time wasted when I'm stuck in the machine. That's what the quick release is for. Okay, you're gonna love the quick release. Once you learn it, you will never get on or off this machine the same way again. Quick release, super easy. What do we normally do to get off? We do this and then we work our way out. Problem is we get stuck when we do that, right? And when we get back to the machine, we have to adjust the straps just to get back in. Huge waste of time. With the quick release, you can shave off 8 seconds per transition. Yeah, wow is right. Right? If we have a workout where we hit this erg 3 times, how much time is that we've just saved?
8 seconds.
How long?
24.
I'm sorry, 24.
24, yeah. So 24 seconds, right?
It's early.
24 seconds that you can save like that.
This case.
Just by changing the way that you get on and off the machine. How does that sound?
We'll feel.
Yeah, pretty good, right? Yeah, wow, yeah. You're such an amazing coach, I know, thank you. Okay, so we use the quick release. It doesn't differ much than what you guys are used to. So you're gonna grab the underside of the foot stretchers. Thumbs are gonna go on the buckles. You're gonna press the buckles out. Now here's where most people stop. They let go and they're done. We're gonna go one step further. So with that buckle out, you're gonna continue to press away on the buckle and you will pull your toes towards your face. Ooh. Right? From here, both toes go up, and then you pull your heels out. Feet are out of the machine like that. This is beneficial for both individuals and team, right? If you have a teammate coming in next, they don't have to waste time adjusting the foot straps. Now, they just step in, grab, tighten, and they're on their way. Time saved immediately, right? How easy is that? Cool. But what matters is that you continue to press away on the buckle as you pull your toes towards your face. Okay? Again, you will never use any other way again. I'm going to walk you through it though. Don't worry about it. I just wanted you to see what that looks like. Finally, the handle. That's our third point of connection. On the handle. Hands should be nice and wide. Okay? Thinking edge of the handle. Also, hands are relaxed. Shoulder is protracted and relaxed from the neck all the way to the hand. Our arms make up 10% of the stroke. How much do they make up? 10%. Beautiful. That is not very much, right? If I'm death gripping the handle, that is a huge waste of energy just trying to hold on to the thing. So I'm letting it sit in my fingertips, elbows are extended, shoulder is protracted, and I'm relaxed. I'm hanging off of this extended joint. All right, how many of you guys follow Coach Bergner and what he talks about? Anybody know the saying, when the arm bends?
Power ends.
Power ends. Right? What's he talking about? As soon as that elbow breaks, you're loading your musculature and you've lost the ability to translate power from the hips and the legs to the bar. Same, except in reverse. The instant I break the elbow, I've loaded my musculature. I'm prematurely fatiguing my musculature instead of just hanging off of my joints. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. So I'm just gonna hang. Nice relaxed hands. Okay? So that's the handle. Now, let's talk about the 4 positions. Okay, if you know the 4 positions, you're gold. You guys are gonna be good. Okay? Here's what I need. At the catch position, relaxed hands, shoulders protracted. We already talked about that, right? Next, heels down. How many of you guys row with your heels connected to the machine? Like 3 of you.
I tried to.
Right.
I just figured it out.
Does this look familiar? Yeah. Would you ever squat here? Would you ever deadlift here?
No.
Would you ever run here? No. I mean, maybe sprinting, like coming out of the blocks, you might be on the ball of your foot. But would you ever run for a long distance here? Is there anything you can think of that you would do here? So why do we do it in rowing?
Frog jumps.
What's frog jump? Like for time or distance? Right.
Fun. Double
Yeah. So here's the deal. Heels connected. All right? You can have maybe an inch of lift, but I don't want to see the heels up here. Okay, heels connected, and I'll be driving through my midfoot, not my toes, not my heels, midfoot, pressing through that whole foot. Okay, again, arms extended. I want that back straight, nice and extended, and I want my hips behind my shoulders. Behind my shoulders, never underneath my shoulders. Notice what happens when I lift my heels. Does that look familiar? Does this look like a pretty typical CrossFit rowing stroke? Yeah. Notice what happens as soon as I force my heels down though. My hips naturally have to go behind my shoulders and I end up in a good position. So if you think about keeping that heel down, you will move into a better position. So keep those heels down. All right, next, legs. I do not want my legs outside of my arms. We call this birthing in rowing. This is not a strong position. Okay, you do not get extra power from here. This is not like the optimal external rotation position. Again, you would not squat with this much external rotation. Right? This doesn't work. So I want those heels connected. External rotation is good, but I want that knee underneath the arm. Fair? Make sense?
Yeah.
So good posture, knees underneath the arms, hips behind the shoulders, feet connected, arms relaxed, protracted, hanging from an extended elbow, and relaxed hand. This is called the catch position. It's called the what position?
Catch.
Good. The catch is perhaps the most important part of the stroke. Not perhaps, it is. The catch is the most important part of the stroke. If you miss the catch position, you've missed the stroke entirely because you've lost the ability to stay connected through the stroke. Okay? So it's called the what?
Catch.
Good. The catch moves me into what is called the drive. The drive is the actual phase of the stroke where I can apply force to the machine. And it's the only part of the stroke where I can apply force to the machine. So from the catch, I'm loaded, I'm tight, I'm gonna brace my belly and my midline, and I'm gonna drive through my legs first. Notice, did my body angle change at all?
Nope.
What does that tell you? Where did my force come from? The legs, not the shoulders. Does this look familiar? Yes. Heels down, puts my hips back. I am going to push the machine away from me. If you can think about the rowing stroke as a push movement instead of a pull, it is going to change the way that you apply force to this machine, and you are going to have a very positive result because of it. So from the catch, you are thinking about pushing the machine away with the legs. Once that knee is about to extend, now I'm going to swing my hips open. That is a continuation of the momentum that I just created with my legs. Right? I squeeze my butt and swing my hips open. That body is going to rock from 1 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and that's it. No further. I'm not laying back here. This is not an effective position. All right? You can see I'm shaking just trying to hold this position. So you're swinging open to 11, and that's where the arms finally come into play. So I push through the legs, swing the hips, arms snap in and immediately move away again. Notice there was no stopping point of the handle there, right? Was there? No. Arms move in. This is the 10% I was talking about. Legs extend, hips swing, arms snap in and immediately move away. That's the 10%. So you get about 60% of your effort from the legs, 30% from the swing of the hips, 10% from the arms. All right? That's called the drive phase. It's called the what? Drive. Before the drive was the catch. After the catch comes the drive. Good. Before the drive was the catch. After the catch comes the drive. Good. You guys are getting so quiet. Okay? Catch, most important part of the stroke, sets me up for a good drive. The drive is where I apply force to the machine. The drive brings me to what's called the release. The release is simply the release of the handle. Okay? It is not a stopping point. It is not a starting point. It is simply continuation of momentum. Just like in running, cycling, swimming. Right? Rowing is a continuous movement. Would you run a mile by taking one giant leap and then stopping and resetting? And then taking another giant leap and stopping and resetting? Would you swim by taking one heaving stroke and then drifting out? No. You find this cyclical movement. We do the same thing with rowing. There is never a stopping point. It's continuous movement. Okay? And the release is simply translating that. So I push with the legs, swing the hips, arms move in and immediately away. That's called the release position. I'm releasing the handle. It's called the what position? Release. Good. Before the release was the drive. Good. Before the drive was the after the catch comes the which leads me into the release. Good. Before the release was the drive. Ooh, somebody say catch. Good. Before the drive is the which sets me up for the and the drive leads me into the release. Good. That's 3 of the 4 parts of the stroke. The release then takes me into what is called the recovery. The recovery is called so because beautiful, you guys are on it. Okay, the release. Here's the deal. The release releases the arms. The arms then translate into closing the hips. Okay? Now the recovery is the complete opposite of the drive. In the drive, I started by driving the legs, then swinging the hips, and then finishing with the arms. I've already released the hands, so what does that mean the next phase of the recovery is? Closing the hips. And then the legs go. And those two are so relaxed. The arms are always released quickly. Right, so I hit the release, arms release. As soon as that arm's about to extend, now I relax the closing of the hips and I relax the legs. Again, we call it the recovery because we recover, which means that we don't actually have the ability to apply any force to the machine whatsoever. Can you guys apply any force to the machine during the recovery phase? None whatsoever. So we're going to use as little energy as possible during that phase of the movement. So what that means is I want to see the arms quick and then slow, the body closing, and then the legs. By doing that, you will set yourself up for a good catch position and you'll end up right where you started. This creates cyclical movement. That makes sense? Okay, so that final phase is called the recovery. The recovery takes me to the catch, which leads me into the and moves me through the release, which then takes me into the good. The recovery is preceded by the release, which is preceded by the good, which I have set up through the after the catch comes the which takes me into the and takes me then through the which leads me up to the most important part of the stroke. Okay? Catch, drive, release, recovery. The 4 parts of the stroke that we must know. Yes. If you know those 4 parts of the stroke, we can talk the language of rowing and we can teach you good movement. Sound good?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Here's what I need. I need 1 person on every single machine.